Okay, continuing the thesis out here. Jim didn't show up today. I got to hit that index for you. Show that my one model, one penny stock, if I ain't got this up in there yet. My free one can ride the index across the board. Long game, whether I want to turn the crank on that thing or I just let it operate under the acoustic flutter that it was running for the stock off the penny game, up a little bit, running the market. It was doing it. That's what that market will do when certain things hit the institutional buy sequence inside of there at caps for MIT training courses that parallel right next to college and you're teaching your kids this. I know it pisses you off on the index for, but that's your kid probably hitting that index. In terms of what can equal an institutional buy on that 45. Turning those keys, turned over, says I'm going to hit that one right there, but that floods the market. Otherwise, why would I do it? I'm going to collapse that market in terms of me chasing rabbits inside of the index because, every day you can hit that 80 to 200. That wasn't just the one-shot Johnny. That changes over there. That was the first day. That was the one-shot index in there for my Weebles account standard running the system because I would track inventory. It's where the system is for it. Slide it off to the internet because Jim telling me to slide it off the internet. Fast Money, Mad Money, Fox, CNN. Those names for those companies. Slide over to the company index version of that instead of let somebody check in for you as a broker. You gotta have that trusted team. The horse thief come in. I'm gonna have you on that. Billy the Kid, come bang my. Oh, Billy the Kid. Oh, damn. It's gonna get fun. I'm sure a lot of people running that number incorrectly you're in the field hospital today running those indexes based on statistics of the code sequences of the MCATs, SATs, to the phone call that day. I'm sure, be ready. That's triage for what that system has looked like in emergency room in there. Zombie protocol, stitch up, make Frankenstein run again, zap him a couple times, see what happens. You're gonna run them. Again, this is my general 2-pack. I don't keep them in full containment. I just kind of let them do what they do, really, and do physics around it. You clean up the diamond thirds after old Blue pumps them out for you, and that's your detail on the job for cranking out diamonds. That's what D&D board this version. What Forbidden Realms, right, or Forgotten Realms. For me, I sat at the map and I looked at it and I listened to things about Sun Tzu and the Dragon Palace, Oppenheimer Project Blue Book. There's going to be a lot of different things. You be cranking them saws at night, running a skid steer with your muffin. Some people have the mentality to look at that torch and say it's a very monotonous type of job. That's what the managers will train you when you're on the far side of that thing, or they might even slip it into you the first day. And, that's a notation. It can get pretty boring on the torch. You're not running around doing things outside, banging around, smoking an extra cigarette break, eating a Mallow cup, driving forklift. I allow certain freedoms on that grooming policy in there because to get the job done, I didn't see nothing. Inside of here for anything else by the quantum operator got the job done because that's the dude and I can pull it out and basically I'm standing in front of death and the devil. I'm about to get my shit kicked in. Everybody gonna sat in it. I never said I definitely say pull Biden out of it for the number. What's the system on the system without forming the militia on things with Nancy Pelosi and some other indexes inside of here? Become a standard up. Well, that's what it is. You got to take your cabin. You got to get out inside of here because this mother trucker right here is going to kill you. And I got to be able to mitigate the security defense stock on that. Teach him to run the detail so he's out front with the Senate being like, wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. Stay behind the chains and rails. Walt Disney, Facebook, Apple, Amazon. They're good index because the only thing that fucking supports the standard, short of bumping ups into the system, forcing that mandate because you just cut off the head-on thing. Where's it go? Drax equation, that mountain come clashing down, make a wavy. You got to break it down. You got. It's cool to cause damage. It's nice to say, hey, that's what my Doomslayer gun can do. But at the same time, you make sure you're hunting the right game for the caliber that you're doing. It becomes a problem when you use a cannon to cut a hog in half. It's a lot of setup. Love the angle on it. I've seen some cool stuff out to Texas about making the hog hunt work. For what it does. That's a great interpretation of the real deal where I can turn that into bacon and make you feel real good about it. High quality problems. Those can be an issue when science. The internet is out there. Wikipedia, YouTube, they work on that index general relativity, but the turnover for the singularity singlet state inside of there for most people to make that connection is obviously way out. AI E4 are going to be around too. It's a limit on a system, which is a far end program to keter pop up, number move around things. Just any keter will do this FMA object traveling in space. Any object traveling in space, really. I mean, butterfly effect to a certain degree, a stacked up energy inside here can, in terms of M1, M2, MN, have a certain principle about workforce models, stock principles, integrating the safe model, looking for I like security and the fact that that can actually change, and I've seen that pattern enough inside of that system where I could play that stock. That's a clean little thing if you look at it, and it'll actually creep up a bit more, and it'll creep up enough more so it'll come back around and sound like Hedgehog. Get this Infinity Layer Lure, Infinity Mirror, Hyperlooping, 100 Ring, uh, Chaos General, Italy, Army Camp Mario. Oh, we can do that here. We do battlefield topologies of all kind. Light them up with the the Apache or whatever ground tactics we run on missiles today. Set them up like a duplex over there with the crane crew, and they're gonna set them up for us in the morning. Da 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 da. Orchestration levels of what it is now. Now let that off the chain. Engineer crew come in, hit that hospital, make it evacuate.